Hello. Hello, hello. How are you guys? I don't know if you guys saw my community post that I put the other day. Was it yesterday? I think it was probably 2 days ago. But I wanted to talk more about consciousness and how I mainly aim my everyday life of like manifesting towards more of a um, being state rather than having to do anything. I mean, I think you guys already know like how I manifest, but I feel like I am transitioning more into um, just like absolutely not having to do anything. And I wanted to teach you guys how I do it. So this is going to be very much non-dualism concepts. They're not really concepts, but idealism of non-dualism. Give me one moment, please. Um, so, hmm, where should I start with non-dualism? Non-dualism to me is not anything like law of assumption. A lot of people who get into non-dualism, they try to bring a lot of the rules of LOA into non-dualism, and they find that a lot of the times they are stuck because those concepts don't apply to non-dualism. So then they get confused. I feel like knowing non-dualism lets you. Sorry, I was getting a call. I feel like knowing non-dualism lets you master law of assumption more, but you can't bring law of assumption rules into non-dualism. Law of assumption teaches you that what you assume to be true is true. Non-dualism teaches that you are awareness, you are everything. So there is never any separation between you and the physical world. Things that are physical are as real as you decide them to be. So, for example, my phone that I'm holding in my hand right now is as real as $1 million that I'm just now visualizing. That is non dualism. The mere fact that you are aware of whatever it is that you're visualizing is what has brought it into existence. And because that thing that is now in existence came from source, aka you, that thing automatically belongs to you and is yours. If that makes sense. It took me some time when I was learning about non-dualism to really grasp on to this concept. But like when I really started to break it down and started to really think about it, it makes so much sense. Like everything is you. Like even when we think about things taught in LOA, like everyone is you pushed out, the first part of that is everyone is you. People treat you, people come to you, people act according to how you assume them to be. People are just following your instructions. Affirmations don't apply to non dualism. I would say they don't because you are everything. Well, I'll put it like this. Let me change my answer. When you affirm for something, the fact that now because you've affirmed for whatever it is that you're wanting is in your awareness, whatever method you use to make something become a part of your awareness is fine. Affirmations in the sense of like you having to constantly repeat yourself over and over and over and over and over and over again don't really coincide with non-dualism, because if I am everything, I don't have to do anything. All the work is already done. That's like that's like having a house already built for you, and after the house is done being built, you go to wherever they sell house supplies to buy the stuff to build a new house. It doesn't make sense because you already have the house and it's built already. So the house is you. You are everything. You are always ever experiencing you. You're always coming in contact with yourself. Everything is you. Your SP is you. The money is you. Your job is you. The people around you are you. You watching this right now, you are me. I am you. The fact that I am in your awareness is how you created me. So that is non dualism. And I use it pretty much every single time I need to manifest anything because it's such like lazy manifestation coded, but not really lazy, but it's like so simple. If I am everything, then everything already belongs to me, and if I want it, I just have to become aware of it and it's already mine. Due to the fact that my awareness creates everything, if I can see it in my mind and awareness brings everything to life, me just spotting it is enough for it to be mine without having to do any work. Hello. So it's like seeing the 3D and 4D too. It's all the same. An imagined object is a material object. Exactly. Now, I will refer to 3D and 4D a lot sometimes, and that's only because for people who are not into non-dualism, I want you to see the differentiating aspects of manifestation that I'm talking about. Because if I just constantly always said non-dualism, people won't know imagination or real life, whatever, it's all the same. But for people to better understand, I make that distinction. But yeah, it's all the same. The 3D and the 4D, they're both the same thing. I feel like non-dualism to me is one of those things where if you give me questions, I can give you better answers rather than me having to explain it. If you want to attract money, is it true that all you need to do is affirm? You don't need to take action. Are you referring to it from a LOA perspective, or are you referring to it in a non-dualistic perspective? So because this live is non-dualism coded, I want to give a non-dualism answer. So the first part you said, if you want to attract money. So the thing with non-dualism is you're not attracting anything. You are the money. You can't attract something that's already yours because it came from you. Um, is it true that all you need to do is affirm? If you were doing LOA, yeah, you would continuously bring it into your awareness, and then the more you sustain that belief of already having something, it materializes in front of you. However, I don't not agree with that. It's just discovering non-dualism, it's much more simpler than that. The fact that I am merely aware of the money is enough for it to just be mine without having to affirm or having to do anything or having to do that repetition. And then the last part, you said you don't need to take action. No, there's absolutely zero action you have to take, because if everything is yours and its creation is finished, right? Going back to the house example, someone just gave you a house that's fully built. You arrive to the location of the house and you see the house. Is there anything else you have to do when you see the house? No, the house is done. Creation is finished. Hello. When I think of a stack of a high bank account balance, that bank account balance is now the updated balance. Doesn't matter what I see, just persist in that image. Yes, exactly. Because if I can tell you the truth, the bank account in itself, so I want to get more into like illusions, right? Everything everything is an illusion, right? I am not my body. I am not my clothes. I am not this computer in front of me. I am not this phone. I am not these things outside of me. These things outside of me are illusions created by my awareness. If we break it down even further, all that I am is awareness. Okay, that's the only constant state that you will always be in. You are awareness. You are everything. Awareness is you. You're not these things outside of you. Um so when you see, for example, you logging into your bank account and you see a specific number, right? Just like how I said before, that number is just as real as whatever made up number that you can make in your imagination. Because if the phone and the bank account are both illusions and your visualization is also an illusion, the only thing that dictates what is actually real is consciousness, is you. Everything is fake. Everything is just what you decided to be. And at any given moment, you can just become aware of a favorable illusion, whatever that may look like for you, whatever that may be for you. So you looking at your phone and bank account and seeing a low number, well, that's not real. That's not real, because the second you shift your focus away from that and are aware now of a different number, you can decide now that that imaginary number is now real. And then that's how things materialize. But it's not really materializing because everything is already done. It's just becoming more, for lack of better words, physical to you. when I am manifesting something, like this usually used to happen to me in my very um, early on in my journey with manifesting or whatever. I used to want something or someone, and when I got more information about manifesting, I no longer wanted them because I realized if I can have anything, why would I settle for you, or why would I settle for this when I can just manifest a better, more updated, worthy thing rather than the thing that I used to want out of my egotistical wants and needs. So that's for me personally. It's very different for everyone. So we are literally beyond all that what we see. We are the source. Exactly. You only exist as consciousness. If you believe affirmations work, they work. If you believe you can just declare it and you have it, it's yours. Your beliefs and assumptions make up your world. Right. Right. So that's law of assumption. But for me, I found non-dualism to make much more sense because even though LOA can be simplified in how you explained it, non-dualism is like I don't have to do anything and all I have to do is just be. I can just be because I am everything. I feel like when I do nothing, it feels like it doesn't really come. Well, that's because you adopted that belief. So your world has to show you evidence of that. I've tried manifesting a specific house, too much resistance, but when I try a general house, it feels slightly better. But I feel drawn to my specific home, so I cleared my inner beliefs. Yeah, anything, one thing is not harder to manifest than something else. It all just comes down to the belief that you hold in place. Is there a school that teaches the law of manifestation and be a certified coaching? I haven't really found any schools, to my knowledge, that teaches manifestation. Maybe private institutions or something that people have, but I haven't really found the need to, I don't know, get certified in it or anything. We can literally unlock a new reality in our mind and treat it like 3D. Yeah. You can choose anything. Anything that's in a 3D is just as real as what's in your imagination. I don't know, like I like doing nothing. Like I'm very much a lazy manifester. I don't like to do anything. So for me when I was hearing about non-dualism, it's like what? You mean to tell me that I can do even less and still have everything? Wow. That was like jackpot gold for me. That was like why would I not learn how to do this? I already and you guys know like I am such a lazy manifester. Even with LOA, I didn't like doing anything. But with this, it seems like not that it seems like it is that you are everything, so there's really nothing to get. How can I get something that already belongs to me? The fact that it's in my awareness means I created it, and because it came from me, it's mine. Yeah, like I'm such a lazy manifester. I don't like to do nothing. I don't like to do nothing. I don't like to like set time apart to affirm. I mean, it was cool when people were doing it and they were discovering that it works, repetition. Now, I'm not saying they don't work. This is just strictly what I do, my experience. everyone's gonna have a way of manifesting that they like. This is just mine. Non-dualism to me is so simple. Once you really understand it, it's like such a game changer. And I'm like someone that I'm never afraid to stop learning. Like, yes, I'm a coach, but that doesn't mean I know everything. That doesn't mean I hold all the knowledge about manifesting or quantum mechanics or quantum physics. I enjoy learning. I love to keep my mind open and always absorb more information. I love to learn from other coaches. I love to learn from the community. I love to learn from even my clients. Sometimes they do things and give me ideas about stuff that I would not have thought about. Would you say that you could apply to success in school? Like if you were trying to get A's and believed it was already yours and don't? Yes. Who was it? I don't know if you guys follow Taylor. She has a channel on YouTube, but she's always active on Twitter. She posted a success story where she literally got high grades and she like didn't turn in a whole bunch of work. Like you don't need to do anything. People think that you need action is required because that's your ego. That's a belief that you've adopted, and that's sort of like the societal norm, kind of like the way people think you have to struggle to be deemed as morally obligated to become successful, which is so stupid to me. I don't know why we normalize having to struggle to be deemed like worthy of having success. That's like the most idiotic thing to me I've ever heard. And I still have friends to this day and people that think that way. And when I tell them that I literally am abundant by doing the exact opposite, to them they just can't fathom it. But what's important really is what I think, because I'm the one that manages this reality. Obviously in their reality they can make up any rule that they want and live by that, but doesn't mean I have to. Doesn't mean I have to live by those limiting beliefs. I like to do absolutely nothing. Hey Gaia, how are you? You know, I was literally just watching your video like an hour ago. But yeah, I really enjoy non-dualism. I like the concept of it. I like that I really don't have to do much and I can just be. Because the thought of having to sit there and put a timer for like an hour, for example, and affirm that I have $10,000. I have $10,000. I have, like, to me that's as bad to me as like taking away color in the world. I don't know why something like that is like so not my vibe. Like I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. That's why affirming never worked for me. That's why robotic affirming never worked for me. I have people that love doing it and that they get amazing results and that it works for them and they get everything they want. That's amazing. I wish I could have been like that because I was so jealous. I When I tell you guys, I was so jealous of people getting results by robotic affirming when I first started like learning about manifestation. I was so jealous. Like, why is it that these people enjoy doing this, but for me, I this is like homework. And so the more I started studying LOA and manifestation and non-dualism, I found ways that it started to click for me and become easier and more like doable. It's very easy to want to seek out the newest technique, the newest, oh, what's the newest trend in manifestation that I can try and get something. But then you realize that those things are obsolete and you don't need to do anything, because if you just be the person that has it, work is automatically taken away from the picture. Yeah, Taylor, she's on YouTube. I love her. She's always posting her success stories. I think, let me see. One moment, please. It's Taylor Tooks. Is it Tooks? Tooks. Yeah, Taylor Tooks. She's very active on Twitter. Um, yeah, but that's non-dualism. That's what I've been doing as of lately for the last couple months, and I very much so enjoy it more than LOA. When you think of something you want to manifest, you visualize it, claim it, and then you go about your day. And when you think about it, you think it's done. Exactly. That's exactly what I do. You guys remember when the whole like list method was going around? To me, I found out so silly because coming from a non-dualism I saw that as equivalent to me pointing out things in my room. Because if I am everything and I have everything, me looking at a list of everything that I have is like me looking in my room and just like pointing out a whole bunch of stuff that's already here. But it worked for a lot of people, so I'm not knocking it. I love to see people win with manifestation. So whatever it is that you find like good to you and that works, like why not? Why cut it out of the picture? Affirmations are not me either. I know when I do manifest, it is when I just declare something and it happens that way. But still haven't fully gotten all the doubt out into it consistent. That's fine. I just gotta be consistent. To me, I felt like when I was first starting out in manifestation, I thought I would never get to the level that I am. Like I thought I was millions and millions of years away from having this like certainty that I now have in manifesting, but it does get better. You like eventually the information starts to click and you find experiences that work for you, and the accumulation of all that info is what makes it a lot easier. I'm kind of confused on how to proceed. I want to move on a Friday. Maybe I should manifest that I own my specific home, the BOIs, or me having the home itself. That's completely up for you to decide. What do you want to do? Because that's gonna solely depend on like situations around that, like what's easier for you, like, you know, saturation. Yeah, that's fine. It just doesn't work for me. There is no distance. What do you think of self concept and non duality? Um, Self concept, according to non dualism, I think I think you can still apply self concept to non dualism. It helps. It definitely does help because why would I see myself beneath anyone or anything if I'm by default the highest form of being, which is consciousness? So I feel like going into non dualism with that type of mentality only supplements the power that you already have. So I don't think it hurts. I like the idea of manifesting the sequence of events and circumstances leading to me moving to it on Friday and including me only getting the keys. Okay. What is the process you would use to manifest getting rid of student loan debt? Stop bringing my awareness to the fact that debt exists to begin with. That's it. I literally would just shift my focus onto having no debt. And it's as easy as that. I also want to talk about like the concept of waiting. Because someone emailed me about waiting when I posted that community post a couple days ago. And I wanted to clarify. So there waiting doesn't exist. To me, waiting does not exist. Waiting is not a thing. Time in general is not real. So by default, waiting does not happen because all there is awareness. And when you are aware of the thing that you have, because you are everything, it automatically exists. So if it automatically exists within my imagination, me deeming that as real is real right now. There's no having to wait until it materializes in the 3D and then I believe it's no. It's real the second I visualize it. It's real the moment I have it in my thoughts. What do you think about hot and cold behavior from SP? Hot and cold behavior happens when you keep putting your awareness on the fact that they have or they are having cold behavior. One thing about me that I like to do is I just leave the 3D alone. I completely leave the 3D alone because I get complete fulfillment of what I see in my imagination. As a byproduct of you being fulfilled, that fulfillment is then reflected out into the 3D. That's just how the mechanism works. So I wouldn't even interact with a version of SP that's being hot and cold to begin with. So manifestation is just deciding you want something, and techniques are just to keep you in the state of having your desire. Yes. But anytime you waver, that slows down seeing it in the 3D. I wouldn't really say wavering slows it down unless you decide it does. And it can't really slow it down because you already have it. But if you are aware of the fact that time is still like linear or whatever, then yeah, you're gonna get evidence of it being slow. How long into your journey did it all click for you, including learning and then application? I want to say probably like a year and a half. The awareness that your debt is cleared, the balance you owe is zero, and you are financially abundant. Exactly. Does checking matter from a non duality approach? If I check, does this hinder the manifestation unless it's an expectant checking? You should always be checking as you're expecting something, because if you check, there's always like a an underlying reason why you're checking, because you're coming from lack. So if that's the underlying reason why you're checking, to see or make sure that it's here or make sure that it's coming, then because the 3D is reflecting who you are being at that moment, you're going to interact with the version of you that is being the lack. so to speak. So that's why when you check, you don't find what you're looking for because you're being the person that doesn't have it. Now, if you're checking as if you know you put in your order into Amazon and you're checking outside because you know that the Amazon truck is a few stops away and you just want to be outside to collect your package, that's a different thing. The underlying um, reason why you're checking is because you are solidified in the knowing that it's going to happen, which is different from checking because you think it's not going to happen. 4D is more real than 3D because 3D is just a mirror reflecting your inner dominant focus. Yeah, I don't pay attention to the 3D at all. Like it means absolutely nothing to me. Hello. I have difficulty believing something has already happened, but no problem believing something will happen. That's fine. I know people who manifest this way all the time, and they get exactly what they want. But during the day, from I say, yeah, it's completely fine. How effective are subliminals? Does it make the manifesting stronger? I don't use subliminals, but it works according to how you believe it will work. So if you think going into the subliminal it's not gonna work, I mean your mind governs everything. So if you go into the subliminal thinking it's not gonna work, then you're gonna get evidence that show you that. But if you go into thinking that it's gonna help and it supplements you, then you will see that when every time you do it, I mean everything is kind of like a placebo, to be honest. So it's not really that the subliminal worked, is you allowed it to work and you believed that it was going to work, so it worked. You check it, you wreck it. It depends. It depends like what how are you checking or like the reason why you're checking. How did you start to be able to become comfortable in the unseen materializing? Was it realizing that you are everything and you have it so it's done? It was you come to a point with manifesting that when things don't happen the way you want them to, you kind of are forced to keep trying new things. And so when I realized that me constantly always looking for my desire, me constantly always checking for my desire was not working, I was forced into like, okay, I need to try something new because this is literally insanity. Like, I can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different outcome. So I'm like, okay, let's try being completely fulfilled with imagination and see if that renders a result. And then I ended up doing that, and that's when everything started to work out. When I stopped getting validation from the 3D and becoming fully fulfilled with what I see in imagination more. I mean, everything comes from imagination, so why wouldn't I be more focused on that than what I see in the 3D? What do you think about imagining something that I want and then a negative imagination that I do not want comes with it? This is resistance, and if this is resistance. Um, so when stuff like that happens to me, I just shift my awareness to something favorable. I just shift myself into like the end result because nothing cannot happen without me, period. Things cannot happen without me. So there's no reason to be afraid of your imagination when your imagination, everything you create is you. You have the power to obliterate it, you have the power to create it, you have the power to move it, shift it, manipulate any kind of way you want. And the reason why it's here to begin with is because of your awareness. So knowing that has always allowed me to find solace in when these negative or intrusive thoughts would come in, because for one, those intrusive thoughts or doubts never mattered because I already have what I want. If we think from the end result, right, and I have my desire, an intrusive thought is not going to harm me because the desire is already here. So you take your power back when you think of it that way instead of being in fear of your thoughts and your mind, because you can't run away from yourself. Learning how to perceive things differently give you more power. You take your power back from those negative thoughts or like the 3D even. As an example of duality, life and death, please explain. Duality would be like me thinking that my imagination is separate from what I see right in front of me. That's duality. You think that it's separate, but it isn't. It's the exact same thing. All you all that is constant and fixed is awareness. So when people reference the 3D and 4D, oftentimes, at least for me, I'm referencing it so people can get a better understanding of what I'm talking about, but there's no difference. They're the exact same thing. Yeah, I'm really like a lazy manifester. I've had people get so viscerally upset at the fact that I don't want to do anything when it comes to manifesting that they will just like have this angrily reaction. Like, what do you mean you can't you don't have to work, or what do you mean you don't have to do anything for money? Like, people will get upset. People will get so upset because it's like you're going against a belief that they grew up attached to. And so for me, I just laugh or smile or like don't give it any attention, because to me it's like, so for one, why do you care what I'm doing? So this is, and then I get this also in my comments and people emailing me like, oh, you're delusional, you're crazy, like, people get so upset, but as long as I'm getting what I want, why does it matter to you? um I remember in one of your videos you said if you would need to take action, you would be led to do that. Or would you know that action led to desire? Is that true? You mean like inspired action. So you will naturally be led to do something that leads you to your manifestation. So I still do agree with that. You won't do it consciously. You'll do it, when you look back in retrospect, you'll find that, oh, I actually was doing this, this, and this because my subconscious was leading me to my desire. And I consciously didn't know that, but that's what it was doing. Is that mindset a process, or is it as easy as deciding? Talking about knowing it is done, Sashir. It can be as easy as just deciding. No process. How to manifest living in another country. Visualize yourself in another country. Put your awareness in the fact that you're already where you want to be. I wish I had the same mindset as you and got results. You are me. You are me. The fact that I am in your awareness, I am you. So you do have the ability to have the same mindset. You just have to agree to make it concrete in your awareness. I noticed the more I worked on self-concept, the less desire I had to affirm me. A lot of the techniques are beginning to lose my interest. Yeah, that's exactly me. Because you realize you don't have to do anything. A technique is so that you can stay in a state, but if you're everything, you're in all states. So, do I really have to do anything if I'm already there? You can have what you want, I promise. I wanted a new job and was trying for a while, and I was late to my interview today and still got, you see? Doesn't really matter, because you decide literally every result. You decide how your SP shows up, you decide how money shows up, you decide how your life happens, you decide literally how everything happens to you. And all that it takes is you becoming aware of the fact that it's happening, and that's it. No action, nothing is needed on your part consciously, right? A series of events will occur for you to be met with the end result in physicality, because technically you're already there in imagination. Yeah, I'm gonna save the live. I never delete my lives. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't like to do anything. You know what I prioritize a lot? I like to do fun things. I don't like to be cooped up in my room, like affirming for 2 hours. I don't like sometimes like being in my house. Because could you imagine I started affirming while I'm in public? People will start looking at you like, what are you doing? Like, whatever. Not that I really care what people think of me, anyways. But I do a lot of my manifesting while I'm in my house. And I feel like being glued to my house because of me having to do a technique or to affirm is like, that's like torture to me. Yeah, I love non-dualism. You guys should really um, go deep into it. If you guys have a chance, check out Edward Art. He talks a lot about it, and I feel like his channel is like a gold mine. So if nervous, we just keep going back to end result and say it is ours. Yeah, that's literally all you have to keep doing. Yep. Like when it comes to manifesting, if it is not what I want, I'm just like, okay, and what is that? Yeah, exactly. Nowadays, I just go, LOL, no, if it's not what I want. I think what is so tough for a lot of us is knowing it is done. Practice. That's the only way you'll break through those beliefs that you grew up with, is putting it into practice, implementing what you know or what you learn. Yeah, I like to like prioritize fun. So when it comes to manifesting friends, just shift your awareness to an end result where there isn't any drama, and you'll have drama-free relationships with friends. But the fact that you are aware of it is what keeps it alive. The only technique I like to do is scripting, but after listening to coaches saying that you have to saturate your mind to manifest quickly, I think I believed it, and saturation is not my favorite. Yeah, people have their own like favorite techniques. I'm not knocking any of them, because at the end of the day, if it helps you get from point A to Z, like what does me having a favorite method have to do with that? Yeah, but I've been here almost an hour. I am gonna go ahead and end it here, guys. I hope you learned a little bit about non-dualism. I will definitely keep talking about this more in the future because I just like love that it clicked for me, and I love applying it every single day. So I'll do a video about it soon enough. But also, if you guys need coaching, head over to my website, conjuredrealm.com. I'm doing coaching. If you need help with anything, you don't need it, but if you want the extra help, I'm here. I'm available. I have open dates if you're interested. But yeah, everything is done. You're everything. You don't have to do anything. Your desire is here right now. All that matters is that you are aware of it, and it's simple, it's easy, it's done. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Keep persisting in the new thoughts, and yeah, you'll have everything that you want because you are everything that you want.